إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعين به ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فهو المهتد ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد. جزاكم الله خير. My dear respect brothers and sisters, and inshallah we're going to be continuing our series with fiqh of worshipping. Forgive me, I was away for the past week or so and I was not able to give these lectures, and we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive us, and inshallah we're going to be continuing this series going forward as much as we possibly can. Now, we started to talk about wudu in the past, and that last time we spoke about the fara'id al-wudu. What are the obligatory things and what are the pillars of wudu? Okay, and wudu doesn't only have fara'id, meaning that it does not have only things that are obligation. It only also have sunan, things that are highly recommended that was done by Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Now, and that's what we're going to be talking about today, the sunnah of wudu. What is the sunnah? Meaning, well, this is things that was done by Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, but is not as essential as the fara'id, the obligatory things. What is the difference between the two, between the sunnah that we're going to be talking about today and the fara'id that we spoke about last time? Fara'id, or the things that are obligated, the things that you're obligated to do, if you do not do any of them, your act of worshiping is not acceptable. I'm going to say this again. If you does not do any of the fara'id of wudu, okay, your act of worshiping is not accepted. Meaning, like for instance, let's say we spoke about last time of the obligatory things of wudu. We talked about the very first things obligation is, for instance, niyyah. That you have to have the intention. Let's say that someone did not do or have intention right before he started making wudu, then his wudu is not accepted. Because why? Because it's an obligation. It's a thing of obligation that when it comes to wudu, it's a pillar of wudu. Okay, versus the things that we're going to be talking about today, the sunan, which is things that was done by Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and it's highly encouraged for us to follow the lead of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because he's our prophet, he's the one who guides us, and these things that are extra things, extra reward that we're able to obtain when we follow Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Okay, and this is things that are that's what distinguish us from the rest of humanity, is the fact that we are following Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So again, the difference between sunan al-wudu, things that are of sunnah of wudu, is that things that it's highly recommended for you to do, but if you did not do it, that does not negate your wudu, versus the fara'id we spoke about last time. So to review some of the fara'id that we talked about last time, we said, for instance, niyyah is one of them, having intention. What some of the fara'id that we spoke about last time from the people who with us today? Let's talk about some of the fara'id. What's some of the fara'id that we talked about of wudu last time? Halima, do you remember any farida? What are some of the pillars of wudu?
Having niyyah.
Having niyyah, okay, that's one I spoke about that one. Give me another one.
Making sure the water covers everywhere.
Yes, cover.
Like up to your elbow and like until your ankles.
So yeah, so washing your hands and all the way to the elbow. Okay, good. Al-Bayati, could you give me another?
Al-Muwala, you have to do everything in the correct order.
MashaAllah, beautiful.
MashaAllah, beautiful.
Okay, so that's very important, guys. So just in summary, we talk about niyyah, intention. Okay, al-madmada wal-istinshaq, that you should have gargling and cleaning your nose. Okay, ghasl al-wajh, that you clean the face. ghasl al-yadayn ila al-marfaqayn, that you would wash the hands all the way to the elbow. Okay, mash al-ra's, that you wipe the head along with the ears, okay, and غسل الرجلين إلى الكعبين, that you would wash the feet all the way to the Kaaba, okay. And seventh is the tartib, that they should be in order, and eight and muwala is that they should be right after each other, okay. So this is what we talked about. This is obligations, pillars. If you don't mess up and you don't do any of them, what's going to happen? What's going to happen, Rima? Maria, what's going to happen?
Your wudu won't be accepted.
Your wudu will not be accepted. Shatra. Jazakallah khair. Okay, so now we're going to be talking about sunnah al-wudu. Okay, what is the sunnah? Okay, the very first thing, the very first sunnah of wudu is that we call it at-tasmiyah, that you would say, as Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam told us to do, la wudu'a liman lam yadhkur isma Allah alayh, that you should say Bismillah. Okay, Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam told us there is no wudu for who did not say Bismillah. Okay, so it's highly recommended that you do say Bismillah. Very simple, Bismillah. Okay, before you start your wudu. Okay, so that's number one. So when I'm starting my wudu, the very first thing I should be doing what? Say Bismillah. Okay. What is the second thing that is also a sunnah? Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "لولا أن أشق على أمتي لأمرتهم بالسواك مع كل وضوء." That if I did not want to make it difficult on my ummah, I would have made it mandatory on them to use. Would have made it mandatory on them for them to use with siwak. Okay, the siwak, we talked about this last time, the past 2 times, with every single wudu. Okay, so again, it's highly recommended, okay, that you would use the siwak. Why? Because again, this is part of the normal cleansing of a Muslim, that he should have his teeth cleaned. He should. I would recommend that these things are pretty cheap nowadays. You could get them pretty much from any store. Not any store, like maybe like Muslim stores. So it's highly recommended that maybe you could have one of these things in your pocket, in the car, in your book, in your bag. That and these things does not require a toothpaste. You could use it at literally any time. Okay, as soon as you wake up, before you get to the bathroom, after you get to the bathroom, you could use it anytime. And this is one of the ways for you to continually wash your mouth and clean your teeth. After eating and etc. Okay, so this is a sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that you would use the siwak. Okay, so this is the second sunnah. Third sunnah, غسل الكفين ثلاثة في أول الوضوء, that you would wash your hands in the beginning 3 times as soon as you start the wudu. Okay, you would wash your hands. Okay. So now, last time, what is an obligation? He said that you're washing your arms. So this is an obligation. You're all the way to the elbow. Okay. But here is that you would wash your hands. 3 times you're washing your hands. This is what? And a sunnah. Okay. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he used to wash his body parts 3 times. That's actually a sunnah. But what is mandated? What is mandated? That you should do it once. Okay, like when I'm going to be talking about this in a minute. Okay, so mandated is what? How many times? Is once. But as a sunnah that we do it 3 times, just to kind of make sure that our body parts is clean. Okay. So this is the third sunnah. The fourth sunnah, المبالغة في المضمضة والاستنشاق لغير الصائم, that you would overdo it with gargling and cleaning your nose. Okay, you overdo it, as long as you're not fasting. So this is something that is highly encouraged, that you overdo it with gargling. So meaning, what does that mean? What do you mean by overdoing it? Meaning that you really gargle really good, to the point that you would get everything out of your mouth. Any food, leftover food. You would also do al-istinshaq, which is cleaning your nose. Overdo it. So you would what? So you'd clean everything that in your sinuses and etc. Okay. Why is that? Because it's actually a good habit in which that you would really clean your mouth and really clean your nose. And this is for whom? لغير الصائم, for someone who is, as long as they're not fasting. Okay. Why is not why this is something that we shouldn't be I mean while you're fasting you should do it, okay? You should still gargle and clean your nose, but why you shouldn't be overdo it, because of the fact that some of this water can drip down your throat into your stomach, and this could invalidate, if you do if it was done with intention, this could invalidate what could invalidate your fasting. Okay, so this is something extremely important. This is something extremely important for us in order for us to make sure that we don't do. Okay, so that's very important. So المبالغة في المضمضة والاستنشاق لغير الصائم. Okay, so this is number 4. Okay, number 5, تقديم اليمنى على اليسرى. Okay, what is it also highly recommended that you start with your right hand before your left hand. Okay, again, because part of the rituals of Muslim is that what you do is that you always should start with I mean, we use our hands, right hand, in doing good things all the time. Okay, so you start with your right hand before your left hand. Start with your right hand before your hand. And this is hadith of the Prophet, hadith of Ibn Abbas, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be pleased with him. What he said ثم أخذ غرفة من الماء فغسل بها في يده اليمنى ثم أخذ غرفة من الماء فغسل بها في يده اليسرى. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, what he did, okay, what the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam did, that part of the way he used to describe his wudu is what he used to you start with his right hand before his left hand. Okay, and Aisha radiallahu anha, the wife of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, how she used to describe his wudu, she said, كان يحب التيامن. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to love using his right hand, okay, in doing all good things, okay, donation, opening the door, in making wudu, etc. Okay, so وكان يحب التيامن في تنعله وترجله وطهوره وفي شأنه كله. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to use his right hand as much as he possibly can when it comes to a lot of good things. When he, like for instance, when he used to wear his shoes, he used to start with his right shoe. Okay, and when he used to make wudu, he used to start with his right hand. And with sha'nihi kulli, and everything else, except what we talked about this last time. What's the only exception that is better for us to use our left hand in? We talked about this in the past. Using the bathroom. Okay. So yeah, so this is something good. So when it comes to using the bathroom, we use our left hand is better. Okay. The next number is number 6. غسل الأعضاء ثلاثا. I spoke about this, in which that it's a sunnah, okay, that you would wash your body parts 3 times. Okay. Like for instance, what some other things we talked about, you could wash 3 times. Like for instance, washing your face 3 times, washing your arm 3 times, washing your legs 3 times. Okay, this is a sunnah, and then and this is highly was recommended by, and it was observed by the Sahaba when he was doing when they used to observe Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam washing himself. Okay. Now the next number is التخليل اللحية الكثيفة. Okay, this is a sunnah, but maybe it does not apply to all of you. It does not really apply to all of you. Is that what we do is that, for instance, if someone have a thick beard like mine, okay, is that you would do this, like you would try to get the water inside of your beard. Okay, and this is something that was narrated by the servant of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Anas ibn Malik. He said, كان إذا توضأ أخذ كفا من الماء فأدخله تحت حنكه فخلل به لحيته. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, what he used to do is when he used to make wudu, he used to take a handful of water, okay, and he used to put it underneath his beard, and he used to kind of do this, okay, in which that he would make sure that his beard is clean, is cleansed, is not full of dirt and etc. Okay. Also, part of the sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, dalkul a'da, that he used to massage his body parts. Like for instance, when he used to make wudu, he would, for instance, he would massage it, just like as he's washing it, he's massaging his body parts. And this is again as a sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Right? And this is something that was narrated by one of the companions of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Abdullah ibn Zayd. What he used to say, he said, رأيت النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم يتوضأ فجعل يدلك ذراعيه. I saw Prophet Muhammad صلى الله عليه وسلم making wudu, and he was massaging his arms. Okay. And another sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad صلى الله عليه وسلم during wudu, التخليل الأصابع والأصابع اليدين والرجلين. This is actually very important, and I highly recommend that each and every person who makes wudu it's highly recommended for them to do. And actually, some of the scholars they said that this is actually mandatory, but we're going to be talking about this as a sunnah, in which that at-takhlil, that you would, when you are washing your hands and washing your feet, is that you make water in between your fingers. Why this is mandatory, according to some scholars? Because they said that, the whole point of washing the hands and washing the feet, for instance, is for you to make sure that the water touches each and every part of your feet. And for someone who washes their feet and the water does not touch in between their fingers or their toes, technically they haven't really completely washed their feet. So therefore, it's important that when you are making wudu, is that you make sure the water touches the parts in between your fingers and in between your toes. Okay. And this is something that was done by Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because technically speaking, especially when it comes to the feet, if you don't do it, is as if you have not completely done wudu. Okay. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Asbigh al-wudu wa khallil al-asabi'." He said, overdo it with wudu, meaning like make the water drips from your face and hands, arms, wa khallil al-asabi', that you make sure that water come in between the fingers. This again, there was a recommendation by Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Number 10, الزيادة في الغسل على محل الفرض, that you overdo it with washing. And this is something I guess we meaning that you الزيادة, you try to overwash the body parts. Okay. And why is that? Why did the people looked at this as something sunnah? Because they said, we talked about this last time, in which that what some of the maybe we could ask some of our people who paid attention last time, how does Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam recognizes us in the hereafter? Anyone? How does Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam recognizes us in the hereafter?
From the light coming from the part that we make wudu.
Yeah, from the part. So when we overdo it, great, thank you so much. Because when we overdo it with wudu, what's going to happen? That body part is going to lighten even more in the hereafter. So again, Prophet Muhammad said, "Inna ummati ya'tuna yawm al-qiyamati ghurran muhajjalin min athar al-wudu." The Prophet Muhammad said that my ummah is going to come, and they're going to be white in some of their body parts because of what? Because of the wudu that they have been doing. Okay. Now, even though we're obligated to overdo it with wudu, that does not mean that we abuse the water or we use so much water. Because some people say, like, well, you're the sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is for like to kind of overdo it with like washing your face, washing your hands. But how could we not like waste a lot of water? No, as a Muslim, we're not supposed to be wasting water. We shouldn't be like I think one of the bad habits that many people end up doing is that they just keep the water running while making wudu. No, it's actually better that you wash your face, then you close, and that's what, because the point is not here to waste a lot of water, and that's one of the sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that we shouldn't be wasting water. الاقتصاد في استعمال الماء, that we shouldn't be wasting a lot of water. Okay, and there's a hadith actually that tells us how much Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to do. Even though Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he used to kind of overdo it with wudu, but he did not used to waste water. حديث أنس بن مالك, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be pleased with him, what he said, كان النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم يغتسل بصاع إلى 5, إلى 5 أمداد ويتوضأ بالمد. Okay, Prophet Muhammad صلى الله عليه وسلم, he used to wash his all his body. He used to wash, complete bathing with sa', 1 sa'. We're going to be talking about what is sa'. Okay, and he used to make wudu with 1 mud. Okay, so now what is the mud and what is sa'? Okay, the sa' in Arabic it's like a measurement. Okay, so Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they said the 1 sa' is equal to 4 amdad. Again, so one more time, 1 sa' is 4 amdad. Okay, and what is a mud? A mud is a half a liter. A mud is a half a liter. So meaning, so Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he used to make wudu with half a liter. Okay, and he used to bathe in 2 liters. I'm gonna say this one more time. Okay, so we said what Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he used to bathe himself, from from sa' ila khams, so technically he used to bathe in from 1 to 5 sa'. Okay, and we said so, and he used to make wudu with 1 mud, and we said the 1 mud, okay, is how many? Half a liter. Okay, so he used to make wudu with half a liter. Okay, and he used to bathe with 2 liters from kind of so we talk, let's say 2 liters, so 1 to 2 5, so from 2 liters multiply that by 5, like 10 liters. So from 2 to 10 liters of water. Nowadays, if someone would have bathed, we're talking about maybe a couple of hundreds of liters. Allah musta'an. So that's why we shouldn't abuse it with water. Okay, so this is very, very important, guys, is for us to know this. Okay, so and then so it's important for us not to waste a lot of water. Again, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to bathe himself with about 1 to 5 sa', okay, which is about 2 liters, 2 to 10 liters, and he used to make wudu with how much? 1 mud, which is half a liter. That's very, very important. I've actually seen people who used to make a wudu from out of 1 cup of water. I have seen that actually, and I've actually done that a few times, especially when you go out in the desert and you have very little water, and so you have to really make sure that you watch how much water you're consuming. Okay. Number 12, another sunnah is the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to make dua بعد الوضوء. He used to make a dua, a supplication after wudu. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to say after wudu, أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله إلا فتحت له أبواب الجنة 8. Whoever say أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله, Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم said, whoever say أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله, after wudu, what's going to happen? Look at the reward, guys. What is the reward? Prophet Muhammad صلى الله عليه وسلم said إلا فتحت له أبواب الجنة 8 يدخل منها أينما شاء. That whoever says that supplication, أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would open the doors of Jannah to him, and he would tell him to enter from any of them. Look at this. You could do this with each and every time you make wudu. Allahu Akbar. So see how beautiful that is? Look how much easy reward you'll be able to obtain from just making a dua, from saying that simple saying. Okay. So again, another sunnah, and that's actually, unfortunately, this is a sunnah that many people tend to forget about. Okay, for sure. So again, a sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Okay. Last but not least, the last sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam during wudu that we're going to be talking about. Again, this is actually a sunnah that is abandoned. That you pray 2 rak'ah. You pray 2 rak'ah after making wudu. Okay. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, يعني, that من توضأ نحو وضوء هذا ثم قام فركع ركعتين لا يحدث فيهما نفسه غفر له ما تقدم من ذنبه. يا الله. يعني what is an impactful thing for someone to do. He says, whoever make wudu, just like I make wudu, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, whoever make wudu, just like I make wudu, then he got up and made 2 rak'ahs, okay? And he concentrated in those 2 rak'ahs, and he did not like thought about other things in life. He concentrated in those rak'ahs. غفر له ما تقدم من ذنبه. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would forgive all his past sins. Wow. So this is amazing, Make wudu. And thing is, a lot of times people to kind of like tend to overdo it, or like to overthink it. Oh, 2 rak'ahs. Like, how much time would take? We're talking about like 2 minutes, and people can nowadays watches social media for hours. Just 2 minutes. 2 minutes, just make 2 rak'ahs. How much time is that gonna? It's not gonna take a lot from you. So when you make wudu, simple. Go make 2 rak'ahs, pray 2 rak'ahs, and then that's it. And Allah, this is one of the ways to completely erase all your past sins. Allahu Akbar. Okay. So this is something very, very, very important and easy for us to do. The sunnah of praying 2 rak'ahs after we make wudu. Okay? I think we have some questions here. I think anybody is allowed to ask questions. I mean, if you have a question, be my guest to ask. I think there's a brother who tried to ask a question here. Yeah, go ahead, brother. You have a question? I'll be more than happy to answer your question. Okay. Is there any questions from our students, inshallah? Is there any questions from our students, inshallah?
What's the proper way of making intention for wudu?
That's very important question. Thank you for asking that. Okay. I really, really thank you for asking that. By the way, who asked this?
Halima.
Halima, beautiful. Thank you, Halima. Okay. So in the past, okay, people used to have this innovation in which that they used to think that there's a certain way of making a wudu or making an intention, and that's actually wrong. Okay, in which that they think an intention is something that you would have to verbalize. No. A lot of times is like, what is an intention? And the scholars, they told us that an intention is an inbi'athul qalb, that you would believe something, or you would intend something inside of you to intend, in which that you would tell yourself, I made the intention that I'm going to be making wudu. You don't have to verbalize it. Like, for instance, I think that when I first was taught this, people used to say, Allahumma inni nawaitu an atawadda. And oh Allah, they say it out loud. I made the intention that I may want to make wudu. But that's actually wrong. Okay? I mean, you could say it inside of yourself, but don't think this is the way you would intend for something. Okay? So it's very important that, again, the intention is something that you think inside of you. You intend. Okay? Like, for instance, if just like we intend for anything else in life, let me ask you this, Halima. When you want to go to school in the morning, okay? Do you say, is there a certain thing that you say to yourself verbally before you go to school? I intend to go to school today. Do you ever do that?
No.
But it's obvious that you intended to go to school, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same thing. So just like you don't have to verbalize your intention, but the thing, as long as it's inside of you, then that's it. This is considered to be an intention. Is that clear?
Yes, thank you.
Good. So another brother was asking this question. So let us answer him. After making wudu, brother, what is the niyyah after making wudu? The niyyah is that the intention, just like we spoke about. The intentions that you inside of yourself, you say, I'm intended to make wudu. Okay, is in which that you make the intention. You would say it inside of yourself that this is what I want to do, and this is something that's an obligation. Okay, it's an obligation. You must make the intention, and that's one of the ways that you would like. For instance, we talked about this last time. Let's say you you guys went to the sea to swim, okay, and then by accident, you wash your hands and you wash your feet and you wash your face, and then someone would say, well, you made wudu. Would that count? Anyone, would that count?
No.
It wouldn't count because you did not make the intention. Okay, but in the same token, if let's say in the same token, if you went to the sea and then you made the intention and you just jumped into the sea and then you did wudu, then halas, this is considered to be a wudu, inshallah. Okay. MashaAllah. Okay, so I'm trying to look at some of the comments that we are getting here. Allah musta'an, yeah. Yeah. I'm just looking at some of the comments. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have mercy on Sheikh Said. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. Khair, inshallah. Jazakumullah khair. Is there any other questions that we anybody have? Khair, inshallah. Jazakumullah khair. And inshallah, see you with Allah ta'ala next week. And I'll be more than happy to continue our series. Jazakumullah khair. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.